There are a few top questions that we get asked all the time from our clients, like how in the world are prices so high here in San Diego, especially when you compare them to everywhere else. And that one is usually followed up by, when are they going to come down, right? People want to know, when is the next crash? Welcome back, guys. I am Lynnor Anderson. I'm your San Diego realtor, and I'm partners with my dad, Lyle. Well, there are a handful of obvious and not so obvious reasons, and we're covering those in this video. Now, pay close attention for the answers, because what I'm going to share with you at the end of this video is what I would consider insider knowledge. Our number one reason is our climate. It's super obvious, right? But did you know that there are just a handful of places on the planet that actually share the same climate, like the Mediterranean, the south of France, and us? Hey, they don't call it America's finest city for nothing. That alone will always be a big, major draw for folks that are looking for their ideal location to live in. Number two is our location. Now, San Diego is pretty boxed in geographically. You've got the Pacific Ocean to the west, Mexico to our south. On the eastern side, you've got the mountains and the national forests with the deserts beyond that. To the north, there's Camp Pendleton and the giant metropolis of Los Angeles. So not only are we boxed in geographically, but those other factors contribute to one thing: demand. People move here to enjoy the beaches, the mountains, the deserts. They have ties to Mexico with work and family or culture. They're in the service, and they're stationed at one of our several military bases here in San Diego. And you're an hour to 2 hours away from LA with world-class museums, entertainment, dining, and sporting events. Now, it is not like we don't have great museums, entertainment, and whatnot here too, but our proximity to LA expands your options. Now, number three is that people are escaping problem areas like New York, San Francisco, and LA to be here in a better area. Did you know that the majority of people that are moving into San Diego right now are coming from both LA and the Bay Area? We get calls all the time from folks who want a better life, a better lifestyle, and a better environment to live in. Now, number four is a less known item. There is a crisis in the single family housing market, and that is especially true here in Southern California. If you've been following this channel for any length of time, you're going to recognize what we're talking about. Demand outweighs supply here in San Diego, and it's so much so that single family, condo, and even 2 to 4 unit properties see values double, which happens about every 7 to 10 years here. Yeah, you're going to want to stash that point away in your memory bank. Now, here's what I mean. Building permits were at 7,701 per year on average between the years of 2000 to 2007. We're talking about single family homes. Then from the years of 2019 to 2023, that number decreased to around 3,108 per year, down about 4,663 permits annually. A decrease of around 60%. Ouch! The thing that blows my mind is that there is still this huge demand for single family housing that hasn't gone away. It's still here, but instead we've been seeing an increase in the smaller multifamily housing permits. And I'm not talking about the 2 to 4 units. Maybe you remember a few years back when Senate Bill 9 passed, where single-family homeowners could add an ADU or an accessory dwelling unit on their lots. Well, Senate Bill 9 has created a push for studios, 1-bedroom, and micro units. Basically, small apartments that house 1, maybe 2 people at best. Obviously, this is not going to work for families at all. The number of small unit permits annually has risen from around 5,800 units between 2000 and 2007 to around 6,500 units between 2019 and 2023. Now, that is an increase of 12%. This new trend was called a solution by the leaders up in Sacramento. And our local leaders have jumped on it too. Now it is hurting our single family market, and we're simply not seeing enough affordable homes being built for the demand. We're in a county of over 3 million people. Today, as we're filming, we have 1,572 single family homes on the market and 942 condos or townhomes on the market, with 192 2 to 4 unit properties. Not nearly enough properties for the amount of active buyers out here shopping for a home. So why don't the builders just build more single-family homes, right? It's permit fees, environmental studies, and piles of red tape. See, San Diego has the highest cost to build in the country. Everything is more expensive, and it takes more time in San Diego. Land prices, materials, labor, and permits all cost more. Feasibility studies and all that red tape takes a lot of time. Hey, I've said it before, and I'll say it again. This is why you're seeing big homes built on these tiny little postage stamp sized lots. Builders are getting as much as they can for their products on the sales side to help offset the building costs. Plus, we are nearly out of easy buildable land here in San Diego. Now, let's take this discussion to the next level. This is the part where you're going to end up more knowledgeable than the average agent here in San Diego. Hey, remember when I said that property values tend to double here in San Diego every 7 to 10 years? That has happened consistently since the early 1900s. Guys, we're talking since the horse and buggy days. And this is how we know this little known fact. So back in the 90s, my dad Lyle held this monthly foreclosure and buyer seminar, and he did this religiously every month for 20 years. He did his own research way back then because, believe it or not, everyone was asking the same questions that they are today. Why are home values so high in San Diego compared to the rest of the nation? He pulled the housing data from the county records, like I said, dating back to the early 1900s, and discovered that nearly every 7 to 10 years, housing values tend to double. It kind of was like clockwork. Only the subprime mortgage fiasco interrupted that track record. What a mess that was, right? Remember, it threw things off for years, but when you think about it, it seems we might be back on that track. Now, don't take my word for it. Check out this chart. Dad's chart from the 90s in the seminar is long gone somehow. I know, the guy can save every single piece of paper from every transaction we've ever closed, but that old 7 to 10 year appreciation chart was nowhere to be found. Anyway, the longest record that I could find was back from 2008 until now, 2024. Check this out. January of 2008, the average sales price was at $645,151 for a single family home in San Diego. The subprime mortgage meltdown occurred, and who can forget the foreclosures that followed? Not just here in San Diego, but nationwide. And that lasted till January of 2013, where the average sales price is at $460,624. Okay, you can see things pick up from there, continuing that upward trend. Guys, make no mistake, San Diego is not recession proof. We have seen dips or valleys on charts like this through the years. Let's go back to the 70s. The world's biggest tuna fleet left San Diego. After the Gulf War in the 90s, the defense contractors left town, and the dot-com crash even played its part here. But overall, home values continue to push higher, especially during COVID. Check that out. In March of 2020, the average sales price for a single-family home in San Diego County was at $893,015. Things jump up from there due to the whole fear of missing out factor for buyers. People could work from home, and they decided where they wanted to be. It was San Diego. And for the folks that were already here, they decided they needed more space to work from home. Now, some folks thought that they actually overpaid for their place during the whole worldwide pandemic, but right now they are smiling from ear to ear. And if they hold on to that property for any substantial amount of time, well, you know what's going to happen and where that home's heading. Now, if you've been paying attention to the mortgage interest rates like we have, especially the past year or so here, my dad and my lender friends have been watching like hawks. You'll see, we've had some small dips and spikes in values in the past year, but overall, things have continued that upward trend. If our double every 7 to 10 year fact still rings true, let's check out where things were back in February of 2014. $593,720 for the average single family price home. And here in February of 2024, it's $1,416,399, an increase of $822,679, or get this, 138% increase in 10 years. Hey, there you go. Knowing what you do now, armed with that knowledge that you have now, What does this all mean to you? Especially if you're either planning on buying or you already own property here in San Diego. Hey, if you're buying, listen to me carefully, because I mean this from my heart, based on experience and proof throughout the years. Purchase anything that you can comfortably afford. Chances are you won't be in your forever dream home, and that's perfectly okay, because when you look at the appreciation factor in San Diego, especially when we break down the numbers like we just did, you're getting your foot in the door. Using that place as a stepping stone, letting San Diego's crazy housing appreciation help you get to the next level and one step closer to your forever dream home. Because on the flip side, you certainly do not want to wait and end up getting priced out of this market altogether. Now, this applies to first-time buyers, move-up buyers, and to our investors. Believe me, this is the kind of honest conversation that we have with our clients all the time. For you property owners here in San Diego, hold on to what you own. Now, unless you are moving up that ladder into something that works better for you financially or lifestyle-wise, you're getting a better return on your money with the appreciation here than you would do in most equity markets. Unless you paid cash for your property, you're leveraging the heck out of that down payment you used to buy the place, controlling a large asset with a very little out-of-pocket cost. Plus, you own a tangible physical asset that you can write off on your taxes. Think about it. When did you buy your home here? 5 years, 10 years, 20 years or more ago? Then you've already seen your property here in San Diego appreciate. Now, the question is, don't you wish that you would have bought two back then? Now, if you've made it this far, I sure hope this video has triggered some questions for you. Reach out to us anytime. We love providing our expertise, our insight, and our knowledge, especially when it can help you create family wealth in a way that your 9-to-5 job can't. All you have to do is schedule one of those one-on-one calls with us, and the link for that is down below in the description, and it's also pinned in the comments. Maybe you've heard me say in other videos that my dad coined this phrase that we live in real estate Disneyland here in San Diego. Well, we do. So what are you waiting for? Reach out. Let's talk about how we can help you get where you want to be. And frankly, you deserve to be living your best life, both financially and within that lifestyle that you envision.